Old kings may lose their crowns, while unexpected underdogs may rise. What worked last year stops working suddenly. Media may play a powerful role. Putin's health could become a concern this year. US is hell-bent on not seeing the world upright. Iran will have a change in the regimen. This year is about to reset. What if I told you 2026 isn't about new beginnings? It's about power shifting hands. But instead of calm reset, it's a strong change in global direction. If you have been following my previous global readings, you know I don't say things lightly. You're watching Aurora Hotels. Let's talk about what's really changing in 2026. It represents new beginning, but more than that, it's a year that starts change on its own terms. It's not a gentle reset year. It feels like a whole shift in the global direction. We may see new leaders rising, new systems forming, and a new global narrative taking shape. In tarot, we have Magician, Wheel of Fortune, and Sun adding to number 1. Magician is all about the power to create, but it also has the power to manipulate. So we will see leaders relying heavily on optics. We are entering a phase where data is no longer a background noise. It becomes control. And technology starts moving faster than ethics. So while the world has the tools, the danger is the misuse. Wheel of Fortune showcases rapid turns, instability, and karma hitting back. So situations would flip really fast, be it policies, alliances, or market narratives. Decisions made in the past return with consequences now. There could be sudden reversals. Old kings may lose their crowns, while unexpected underdogs may rise. What worked last year stops working suddenly. This year is about to reset. That doesn't always mean improvement. It just means that the old story is no longer working. With Sun representing number 1, truth becomes harder to hide. Sun validates what's real and exposes what isn't. This also looks like a year of strong technological progress across AI, transport, climate solutions, and defense. Overall, 2026 feels like a turning point into a new era. Geopolitical climate. The global energy feels less dramatic and more strategic. So there are no sudden trade wars or no sudden conflicts, but slow calculated moves between the countries. Funding economic programs, tech partnerships, and trade agreements may look cooperative on the surface, but behind the scenes they are shaping who really holds the power over resources and data in the long run. We could see new alliances forming, and just as quickly, some unexpected fallouts. Competition over resources keeps growing. Policy reversals and institutional changes may become more visible, especially in countries leaning toward extreme governance styles. Polarization may begin to soften, not because problems disappear, but because extreme positions become hard to sustain. Media may play a powerful role in shaping hope and public perception. Security concerns also remain an important theme for many countries this year. Yet again, there are chances of terror attacks. Thailand could face protests or civil unrest. We could see more protests and social movements picking up, but not at the same extreme level as 2025 or what happened to Bangladesh in 2024. Overall, there may be growing feeling that both governments and big corporations are becoming less transparent, leaving people with more questions than answers. The cards don't point toward a new scale global war. Instead, they suggest pauses rather than the new escalations. Russia and Ukraine halt in the war. Ukraine could lose some area to Russia. US could help peace talks between the two countries to stop the war. Israel and Palestine. Discussion in regards to peace talk would pick up in the month of May. However, it would hit a roadblock again by the end of the year. Probably in future, there could be a body of countries that could help them reach a resolution. But for now, it's not really happening. There may be discussions around nuclear testing. So, will there be any third world war? I would say there won't be any war for at least 2 years. The economy and markets. Financial energy in 2026 carries undertones of manipulation and hidden movements. Markets may stay volatile. We may see currency fluctuations, and there could also be discussions around new form of digital or financial currency. A shake-up around June or July looks possible in the markets, followed by a recovery and new highs later on by end of the year. Corporate and work culture. The corporate world could see intense rivalries or legal battles between large conglomerates. Hostile takeovers may increase after mid-year. There may also be situations where accountability feels lacking in large corporate controversies. Consulting and IT sectors may go through restructuring as AI disrupts older business models, while e-commerce and entertainment begin to rise again. There may be more discussions about AI rules and labor laws. Around July, companies might slow down slightly to rethink how AI is actually being used instead of pushing it everywhere at once. For Gen Z this year, traditional career paths may not feel inspiring, and some countries could introduce youth employment programs or new support systems. Environment and risk factors. There is a possibility of man-made issues, then extreme natural events. There could be issues around gas leak or fuel or chemical industries, and warnings about mismanagement of a major incident. There could also be something happening at sea, possibly linked to shipping or trade routes, maybe an accident or some kind of an incident over here. Let's have a country-wise view. USA could see more public unrest and protests. There may be a major event that shifts public sentiment significantly. Also, US should stay cautious and alert around security concerns. When it comes to foreign relations, there are a lot of twists and turns, conflicts, last-minute surprises, and honestly no good news when it comes to solidifying international relations. US is hell-bent on not seeing the world upright. There could be some new relation they may be forming with the country or getting inwards into, which will prove very beneficial to them. I feel there could be improvement in US-Russia relationship. With India, it will be pretty much on tenterhooks. There could be some serious trade tension between China and US, but it will get settled. Also, would US get into any other conflict? I would say no. And if they do, they will struggle to manage the situation. US economy, new policies, new economic reforms, lot of changes coming in. Immigration challenges could lead to a brain drain, and skilled professionals would choose to move out of US for better opportunities. Some sectors may experience sudden disruptions. US economy would pick up after April. UK, a slow-moving economy. However, the government would pump money into promoting various sectors. There would be push in health, housing, and tech innovation, and definitely trying to build up a promising startup culture. When it comes to UK politics, it's high time that the government needs to be more transparent, because some hidden agendas would leak out. While UK would be undertaking new alliances, the progress is slow. There seems to be a fallout sometime July. I see some arm twisting where it comes to alliances, which won't work in favor of UK. It's a year wherein people's trust would be shaken in the governance. So it's a year of public backlash. The royals could be facing some financial disputes. Maybe this is a year of reset for the royal family. With Prince Andrew being named in Epstein files, initial 8 months would be very difficult for him this year, but he may not face any conviction. UK Scotland, separation dialogue could catch speed, and eventually I too see Scotland being independent and exiting UK. It looks like a mixed year for Prime Minister Modi. Political tension may rise and there could be disagreements around governance within BJP itself, including pressure from peers and key stakeholders. BJP may go through a stressful year internally with strong conflicts and even the possibility of some prominent leaders stepping away, if not immediately, then over time. Overall, this feels like a turning point year for the party. Where it comes to other political parties in India, AAP could weaken or even start to disintegrate. Congress, on the other hand, may perform better this year, and the India Alliance could hold a strong position. Rahul Gandhi may start gaining firmer ground politically from this year onward. When it comes to India-China relations, the dynamic may feel like a tug-of-war, with China possibly holding the upper hand at certain points. Economically, it looks like a mixed year for India. The government may feel pushed to introduce reform. There could be moments where India feels slightly isolated on the global stage, with some deals not working out or certain countries pulling back. Changes or restructuring within the finance ministry is also possible. Employment concerns may grow, leading to more protests or public frustration around job opportunities. This year, India should also be very careful about communal tension. China. Chinese economy is going to have a reset. I still see a lot of backstabbing energies like I saw in 2025 as well. So I feel that there could be restructuring in alliances, or China would seek for a different economic strategy. There could be a leadership change impacting the economy in the first half of the year, possibly around April-May. The Chinese stock market could take a downward plunge. So there are a lot of transitions happening in the Chinese economy, but China is well equipped to handle these changes. With Taiwan, tensions would persist, but nothing in terms of aggressive movements from either side. Relations would improve between China and US. However, the relationship would be as good as walking on a tight rope. There could be some tension between China and US around July. China would be taking some serious measures regarding sustainability and environment. Russia. Putin's health could become a concern this year. Where it comes to politics, Putin could be facing some hostile internal dynamics and undercurrents. There could also be a preparation of who is the next successor in Russia. Though Putin is not going anywhere yet, however, the talks would start. The political scene in Russia could shift very quickly and unexpectedly, with internal movements gaining momentum. Conflicts within leadership may arise, and there is a possibility of a female politician figure gaining prominence. Some key leaders could step away from their positions. There could be some kind of a confusion or hidden dynamics leading up to a sudden revelation. For people of Russia, the mood looks tense, making it an emotionally heavy year for the country. Economically, Russia may try to open up more inviting startups and new business activities. Not everything that looks strong on the surface may be stable underneath. There could be some cracks forming within the oligarch system. Russia could end up spending money on resolving some past crisis which was not solved or was hanging loose. There may also be tension with the countries that were once part of the USSR, though there could be no aggressive action or no aggressive movement at this point of time. India and Russia may continue managing their ties carefully, with a lot happening behind the scene. China and Russia may sign some form of agreement or treaty, but one side could eventually pull back. Canada. There could be political shakeups within Canada, including cabinet reshuffles or increased pressure on leadership. Quebec's separatist movement may gain momentum, potentially leading to periods of unrest this year. There are strong chances it could eventually move towards operating as a separate nation, though a final decision is unlikely to happen this year, more likely sometime in the future. Canada, US, and some other country could enter an alliance, which could really work out for Canada. Iran will have a change in the regime. A big transformation is coming for Iran. More sanctions, debilitating economy, civil unrest would put a lot of pressure on the current regime. North Korea, standing at a crossroads. Internal unrest may increase, or there could be concerns around the health of the supreme leader. Behind the scenes, a leadership transition might quietly begin. It may not be what the latest news is all about. At the same time, North Korea may open up to new alliances with other countries as a way to support its economy. Middle East, big development happening in Middle East. New infrastructure, new projects, and emerging industries. There's also a possibility of hidden resources coming into spotlight, bringing new strategic attention to the region. Pakistan could go through a very stressful phase. The economy may hit another low point. Geopolitically, there could be movement through the cabinet reshuffles or leadership adjustments. But after hitting that rock bottom, things may slowly start stabilizing in Pakistan. Pakistan could begin building strong alliances, and the US may play a very supportive role in that process. Where it comes to India and Pakistan, I don't see major improvements right now. It feels more like a careful balance, and it would be business as usual. Overall, 2026 feels like the silent shift before a larger transformation. It's a year where problems are acknowledged but are not fully solved. We are aware of what needs to change, but it still feels like the world is standing at a crossroads. That's a wrap for the 2026 Outlook. Thanks for watching. Follow Aurora for Tales and stay tuned for more.